Hello, Middleton and Middleton sewer users. You're likely here because you saw an increase in your utility rate bill this month and wanted to know more information about that and somehow got directed to this video. You may also be here because you've heard that the city's wastewater treatment plant is out of capacity and you're worried about that. Although less likely, you may even be here because you've heard about concerns of too much phosphorus in the Boise River. My name is Jason Van Gilder. I currently serve as the Public Works Director for the City of Middleton. And I've had the opportunity to have a conversation with several of our city residents about how all those things interrelate. So having this conversation with each of you individually might be ideal. If we use technology to record a video, hopefully we can share this a little wider and get this information of what could be helpful in conveying some of the factual information so that we can all be as informed as possible. Well, let's start with the hard part. Yes, the city's wastewater rates have gone up. It's not unusual for them to go up. Historically, they have gone up at a rate of about 3 to 5%, which is roughly inflation each year to keep up with that. However, last year and again this year, we've found it necessary to have a 25% increase in rates. That's not normal and not something we've taken lightly. Your elected officials, they certainly have not taken this lightly and do know that an increase like this is particularly hard on our fixed income residents. So we want to be intentional about this. We want to let you know why. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Why is all that necessary? That's what I'm hoping to shed some light on in this video. Some things to remember as we start talking about our wastewater utility is that utility takes all of our water from our toilets, your shower, your kitchen sink, your dishwasher, and your washing machine, and anything else you can send down the drain at your house. We take it and we treat it to a level that allows us to discharge it back into the Boise River. Another thing to remember is the city operates the wastewater as a separate fund. That means that utility rates and fees need to fully support the operation of our wastewater utility. It also means that wastewater utilities and fees cannot be used for other city services like police or parks or library. Wastewater rates that you pay go and stay directly in that wastewater utility. So what does our wastewater utility do? It ensures that the water that leaves your house makes it to our wastewater treatment plant, where it is cleaned up enough to return to the Boise River. Lots of people could have different opinions about what cleaned up enough might be. Before the federal government stepped in to referee that space, America was setting its rivers on fire. You can Google the Clean Act of 1972 if you want to learn about that history. It's interesting, but probably not really relevant to why we're here. And it's generally agreed that we like rivers that we can swim in, fish in, and that are not liable to catch fire. So while President Trump is intent on reducing environmental regulations, I don't think anybody foresees that the repeal of the Clean Water Act in the near future. So we're kind of stuck with these regulations. So how does the government step into that space and what do they do? And how does that affect Middleton? Well, they have created a permitting system for every entity that sends water into rivers or streams. Our wastewater treatment plant fits that description, and we have a permit. In fact, that permit is right here. It was issued in 1999 and has the requirements of how clean we have to get the water before it can leave our facility and go back into the river. And our crews do a great job of keeping up with that permit. That permit is due to be renewed and will very likely be renewed within the next 6 months, 8 months. The limits for many pollutants are going to be much lower than what's contained in this permit here. We know that because those limits are derived out of state statutes and partly because what is called a TMDL. After a number of studies, consulting with multiple individuals and firms that are experts in this field, we've selected a path that we think is the best for Middleton, and that essentially is to construct a new wastewater treatment plant and repurpose our existing plant for use in our land application system. I actually have plans for what we're planning to do all here. It's a nice big stack of plans and drawings that describe what we want to do. And we're looking forward to making steps towards accomplishing that. But we've talked for a while now, and we haven't talked about all the new homes in Middleton and how they're affecting this situation. One key consideration as we're designing such a plant is that the state requires us to plan for potential growth over the next 20 years. That's reasonable, and we've done that. We all have also thought it prudent to only construct the parts of the plant that are needed in the near future. So where we're planning for 4 clarifiers and 4 big basins, we're only going to construct 2 of those now, or 2 of each of those, and then construct the new ones as we need them as time goes along. The council's already commissioned an impact fee study, which is our state's method of allowing growth to pay for growth. And if enacted, this impact fee study will allow each new home to pay for the proportionate share of the improvements that would add the capacity to treat the water from their particular home, in spite of incorporating a recycled water system to provide natural treatment methods, and in spite of scaling back the construction to only build what is necessary now, and in spite of reusing as much of the existing treatment plant as possible. It's still going to be expensive. Using our best information available to the city, we're projecting that the project the city is planning to undertake next year is likely to be around $78 million. That's a lot of money for our community. In 2024, we brought in some financial experts to help us create a plan that allows a mid-sized city like Middleton to take on such an ambitious effort. The plan's actually right here, and I think also available on the website if you're interested. And that plan identifies the need for the extraordinary rate hikes we've seen these last 2 years as necessary so that the utility is able to build up some reserves in advance of the project, and also so that we can make what is essentially a mortgage payment on this new facility when it comes online in a couple of years. We know this is not welcome news to our residents, but we do want you to be informed about why this is occurring and what is occurring. If you have questions or want more information, please email sitmid@middletoncity.org. That's CITMID@middletoncity.org, or call City Hall at 208-585-3133. Another thing we'd like to offer is to arrange a tour of our existing wastewater facility. Our staff does an excellent job down there maintaining the equipment that they currently operate. They're always glad to be able to show their work to others, and we're pretty proud of the work they're doing on your behalf. So thank you for the time of listening to this presentation. Again, please reach out to the city if you have any questions or concerns about wastewater or any other services that the city provides. Thank you again.